Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another post-fight analysis video. All right, y'all. Katlyn Chookagian versus Jennifer Maia 2. All right, y'all. I had to come back and do my post-fight analysis for this one just to kind of break it down to y'all again on why I felt like Chookagian was going to win this fight. And she did. She did. She won in the fashion that I felt. But just so y'all know, look, this is one of the reasons for me on why I couldn't pick Maia in this fight. And it's definitely one of the reasons why I don't think much would change in a Shevchenko rematch for Maia as well, because let's say if Jennifer Maia won this fight or she somehow edged it out and got a split decision win, I could still not see her giving Shevchenko a tough fight in a rematch. Why? Because first off, once again, Jennifer Maia, she's not using her strengths to her advantage in the fight, and that's what I mean by IQ. Like when you measure the IQ, Chookagian's IQ versus Maia's IQ, you have to say that Chookagian has a very good IQ. I'm not saying she has the best, but she definitely has a good IQ because she knows that, look, if I commit to what's working for me and just be smart about it, it's going to work. This is all I got to do. That's the thing about Chookagian. She's always committed to what works for her. Sometimes it doesn't work, but for the most part, it's going to work. Whether fans like it or not, she's going to do it. She's the type of fighter that executes her style for her. You know what I mean? Like, she's in and out. She's not really sitting down on her punches. She's not really sitting down to the full effect where she's going to get a full power punch off. But at the same time, she can do damage, but just enough to, score and then get out. You know what I mean? That's why you can see, like, if you look at Katlyn Chookagian, her footwork, she's always ready to move, but she's also ready to land. You know what I mean? So something's got to give. Like, if she's not going to get full power, that's fine. You know what I mean? As long as she can land and score, that's okay. As long as she can get out of harm's way, because she still wants to try to be defensive minded as well, get off the offense and defense. So she's finding her balance, right? So that's IQ right there. That's what I mean by Chookagian's IQ. And once again, she shows that IQ. I know we can say she just has Maia's number. Jennifer Maia just can't beat her. But Jennifer Maia has skills that can work. She just doesn't have the IQ to execute it. You know what I mean? She just doesn't know how to close the distance and get in there and work. That's why I said, okay, this time around, history's just going to repeat itself. And that's what happened. Chookagian went in there. She got a 30-27 decision. I think she went in there and executed a good game plan that works for her. If we go back to the first round, right away, whenever Chookagian opened up with those 1-2s and she would turn angles, I said, okay, oh yeah, Chookagian's got this. Right away when I saw that, because that's something that Maia should have been prepared for. Maia should have already been in her chest. Maia instead was stepping in a straight line. This was looking like the first fight. She was just stepping straight in. Chookagian straight shots couldn't miss. But when Maia would land, whenever she would get off, you would see the harder effective puncher in Jennifer Maia. She did put some damage. She put a smudge under Katlyn's left eye, off of that right hand. But she just didn't know how to mix it up. Katlyn's mixing it up. Katlyn's landing her jab, landing those front push kicks, knocking Maia back, just knocking her off balance, because all she's doing is coming straight forward. All the while, Maia, when she'll get in there, she'll land an effective calf kick or two, but she never puts those combinations together. She's not putting 1-2 combinations and ending with calf kicks. She's just constantly throwing like one single. And you can see that the shots are doing damage on Katlyn when they land, but it's like she's not built off of that. She's not getting motivated off that. Like, Maia's not motivated. Like, when she sees the reaction, she's not going in for more, right? So once again, Katlyn Chookagian, she switches it up. She shows that ground game, takes Maia down, controls the top position at half guard. And Maia looked like she was stuck on her back here. She was talking about Valentina on her back, but Maia was really helpless on her back. See, in Jennifer Maia versus Shevchenko fight, Shevchenko put herself on her back, to her advantage. Like, Valentina Shevchenko did that because she wanted to be there. But here, Maia was on her back, but she couldn't get out of it. She couldn't get out. So I definitely had to give the first round to Katlyn Chookagian. Second round, it was a little bit closer, but I still think Katlyn won it with the higher work rate and cleaner strikes. Maia did land some big left hands here, put some damage over the right eye of Katlyn. It was looking kind of bad there, like there was a little inside cut on the eyelid, but Katlyn never stopped working. She was putting more steam on her strikes here, starting to sit down on her punches, which I thought was impressive. Katlyn also effective with body locks, just pushing Maia back and mixing it up, and then going right back to the jab and the right hand from the outside. She was just landing clean right hands. Like I said, if she had a little bit more power, she probably could have knocked Maia out. Maia, she was landing her single right hands and single calf kicks, but not really consistent. She was really, really just like admiring these singles, then stepping straight back and just staying on the outside. Maya stepping on the outside too much, didn't stay on the inside enough, didn't attack the body at all. And that's why I told people, like, Maya wasn't going to turn into a body puncher overnight. Like, she's not really a body puncher. Like, I give her credit for her clean strikes upstairs and her punch selection when she lets her hands go, the way she turns her shots over. But she's not really like the type of boxer to mix it up. Like, you won't see her doing what Rocky Pennington does, or even like Valentina does, when she mixes up to the body. Or you see like Manon does, they all mix it up. Alexa Grasso. Maia just throws that basic 1-2, and that's about it. Like, she's not throwing any uppercuts to the body. Like, that's why I said, like, she's not really going to take what Andrade does. It's not her to do that. So you're going to see her just kind of go through the motions. So the second round, I still had to give it to Katlyn, because I thought Katlyn's punches, the way she put everything together, it was just much more cleaner. Just much more cleaner. What else? Like I said, Katlyn, she did land a head kick in this round. She kind of stunned Maia with the head kick, landed some nice knees right up the middle on Maia, because, again, Maia's just rushing straight in. So every time she rushes straight in, Maia's getting hit with the knee. Katlyn just got to throw that knee up right to the chest. So I think that's why I had to give her the second round as well. Last round, opening round, more knees to the body from Katlyn as Maia rushes in. She's not learning from that. And that's another thing about having a low IQ. Like, if you're constantly getting hit with the same thing, that's showing your IQ. That shows your IQ level. You constantly get hit with the same thing and you don't know how to adjust and take that away from your opponent, take that weapon away. That's exposing your IQ. So again, she rushing in, she's getting hit with those double jabs and that beautiful 2. And that's all I'm saying. Like, Katlyn's just setting up these basic shots here. She probably could have got a stoppage if she could hit hard. She probably could have. Maia was just tasting too much. She's eating these push kicks again, and that's frustrating me. I know it's frustrating her, but it was frustrating for me to watch, just to see Maia just completely walk straight in and get hit with these front kicks to the body and just eat these knees to the chest, and then she abandoned the leg attack altogether. She wasn't trying to chop Katlyn down, which is what was needed, because Katlyn isn't the strongest fighter. Like, she's not the most durable, and she can be hurt if you slow her down with those low kicks, But it was just Maia just going through the motions, just head hunting through this round and landing a few right hands here and there. But Katlyn's putting on a boxing clinic, 1-2s in her combination with jabs, just stepping in and out and just being so awkward for Jennifer Maia, And that's the thing about Jennifer Maia. Her boxing ability, I have to kind of take away from, what I kind of rated it as before, just because she's not really using angles and she's not really executing punch variety in there. I got to take away from it. And got to take away from it because when you put her in there with a polished boxer like Katlyn Chookagian, it really makes her look bad. You know what I mean? That's why Katlyn is so effective and successful with her style, because not too many WMMA fighters know boxing like this. That's why Rose is able to do what she does in the strawweight division with her boxing, because the footwork is alien to a lot of these fighters. Katlyn, same thing. She's doing things like that little crab defense, stepping in, kind of like Archie Morrow do, like George Foreman and them do. She was kind of stepping in with crossing her arms like that. She'll do the windshield wiper, or, she'll just throw those little flurries like Michael Nunn and get in and get out. So a lot of these women, they're not used to that. That's why she's able to get away with these tricks. And, if you think, if Maia was on that boxing level, she'd be able to shut that down with good power shots. She'd be able to close that distance and take her footwork away, but she never did that. Maia never clinched up here, initiated her own clinches, and never took the dog to her, never attacked the body, So I had it 30-27, just all around good work for Katlyn Chookagian. Maia, I think she was just looking too far ahead to the Shevchenko fight again. She overlooked Katlyn. I heard some people tell me that Katlyn Chookagian was overlooking Jennifer Maia, but no, not at all. Like, Katlyn's always taking the same approach and talks the same stuff that she does, and that's just her thing, you know what I mean? So Katlyn pretty much knew the task at hand. It was Jennifer Maia, if you go and look at the interviews, who was overlooking. Like, she was already jumping ahead saying, hey, I gave Valentina the hardest fight. I want that rematch. But you can't worry about that rematch when you got a dangerous fighter like Katlyn ahead of you, all right? Because Katlyn is dangerous. She can make you look bad and really test your mental. From here, with this type of performance from Maia, even if she won by edge, I don't think she would have changed anything in the Shevchenko fight. If anything, Shevchenko would have changed a great deal to be able to stop Jennifer Maia, right? Maia isn't really evolving. I think Katlyn made a good point about that. She said she's a good fighter, but leading up to this fight here, she was like, I haven't seen like a great deal of change in her. She hasn't really evolved, So I think Jennifer Maia just needs to be lined up with some of these prospects coming up. You know, I'm going to be talking about this more and more. You know, I got some videos coming out. I'm going to call them Weed 'em Out, because it's time for these prospects to go in there and get at these fighters that aren't evolving. They're using their IQ, right? But as for Katlyn, you know, she said she'll fight them all. And, you know, she said she would take on Shevchenko again if it's offered. You know, she said she'll just continue to fight, you know, whoever it is, all the way down from, you know, number 15. And, you know, I'm cool with that. I think that's fine, because I could see that as a, you know, like a end game for her, just to continue to fight these girls until maybe 2 or 3 of them beats her. Then she would call it a day, or she could continue to beat them. And then her end game would be a rematch with Valentina Shevchenko, right, to get that last fight. But it all depends if her contract gets renewed. You know, since this was her last fight on her contract, she said that they haven't reached out to her as far as, you know, renewing a contract for maybe 3 or 4 more fights. You know, as of this moment, Katlyn Chookagian is a free agent. She's a free agent, but I'm pretty sure that the UFC is going to work out something, because to not re-sign Katlyn, that would be a big mistake. It would be a stupid mistake, because you have, for number one, you have a fighter that has a good solid skill set that's going to test all your upcoming prospects to see how good they are, right? Number 2, you have a fighter that is active. Number 3, this is pretty much the same thing. You have a fighter that likes to fight anybody, that'll take on anybody. And number 4, she's always on weight. She's always on weight. This is like one of your most dedicated workers to the game. You know what I mean? It's like on a 9 to 5, somebody that shows up every day and does their job, never misses a day. You know, maybe they're sick once in a while, but they always show up on time. Katlyn Chookagian never misses weight, never been popped. She's good to go, right? You might not like her style, but she's good to go. So I can't say, oh, good riddance yet, or say it's time for you to go when you haven't been beaten yet. I want the fighters to go that don't want title shots. I want the ones to go that aren't making weight. I want the ones to go that aren't showing discipline, or just holding the division back by not saying I want the champion, right? But other than that, Katlyn might get a second go round at Valentina, and she would earn it, you know? And I think if she gets that, that would probably be her end game from there, you know, because that would be big for her to say, oh, I fought the champion a second time and I did earn it. Might not beat her, you know, I might not beat her, but hey, at least I can say I fought her twice. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all thought of the fight. Like I said, it wasn't the one I was looking forward to, but it turned out to be better than I thought. And it just answers a lot of questions about some of the fighters in the division, like where they stand right now. You know, I think Jennifer Maia has the fight down, and she's going to be a test for Manon. If Manon beats Jessica Ai, that would be a good fight. Jennifer Maia versus Manon Firo, and just all these other girls on the come up right now, because evolution is a big part of WMMA right now, and I'm not seeing it in Jennifer Maia right now. You know, I think she jumped too far ahead thinking of that Shevchenko fight when she really only won 1 round, right, guys? But yeah, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Will they re-sign Katlyn? Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.